It's Klutz Week! That's right, we're celebrating the brand that's been teaching us to be creative for years. Friendship bracelets, knitting kits, wacky Lego builds. Klutz knows how to entertain you while also being quite educational. So all week long, we're gonna be posting videos sent to us by Klutz. We're gonna be taking a closer look at their products ourselves. And I thought we could kick the whole thing off with an interview with the head of creative over at Klutz, Netta Rabin. Let's go take a look right now.
Hi, how's it going?
Everything's going really well. How are you?
I'm doing all right, To start off, do you mind saying your name and then your position at Klutz?
Sure. My name is Netta. I am the head of Klutz. My official title is Vice President, Publisher, and Creative Director. But basically, I run Klutz. I'm the head of creative. Yeah. So
Fantastic. Okay, so tell me. Let's just start off easy. Just tell me, what is Klutz? Like, what do you guys do?
sure. So Klutz has actually been around for over 45 years. Yeah, it started off, this guy, John Cassidy, he graduated Stanford. He wanted to learn how to juggle. He looked for some books to see how to learn to juggle. There were no good books. He tried to figure it out, and he realized, hey, I'm going to write an instruction book to teach people how to juggle. And he's a very funny guy. And so he wrote a book. And the first step of the book was drop the ball. Because it's all about failure and embracing failure and realizing that in order to learn something and succeed, you're going to probably fail and mess up a bunch of times first. So that was super cool. And that's kind of like the heart and soul of Klutz. And then the really cool and smart thing he did is to sell that book that he wrote with juggling balls. So he had a little bag, a net attached to the book, and he printed some copies, and out of his garage, he sold books. This was back in 1977 in Palo Alto, California. And with the money he made from that, he started Klutz.
So
And,
is that...
yeah.
Is that where the name comes from? Klutz is from dropping the ball?
It is. The title of the book was called Juggling for the Complete Klutz.
Oh man, okay, that makes sense now, because when I will go through our warehouse and I'll see all these different Klutz products that are like friendship bracelets and like little science kits and rock collections. And I was like, is Klutz like someone's last name, or where did it come from? To learn that it's literally being a klutz with juggling. That's fantastic.
For us,
I love
it's a
that.
positive thing. It's like and like, I don't consider myself a klutz, I'm pretty coordinated. I'm a dancer, but
Sure.
I mean, I'm a klutz at heart. We're klutz, I'm klutzy because I am not always good at everything right away, and for me, I'm kind of a perfectionist. I like to, have everything look perfect. It's a little annoying, but like learning how to sort of embrace and be okay with failures is all part of what it is to be a klutz. And it really, really helps kids develop creative confidence. And we have that enforcement throughout all of our books. And so it's a beautiful thing and really helps kids grow.
Fantastic. I love that. And as a very true klutz, not just at heart, but in action, I can appreciate that greatly. Okay, so that's awesome. So that's the history of where Klutz started. Give us a bird's eye view of what Klutz does now. 45 years later, or however. Sure. Yeah, 45, 46. Yeah.
Oh, you
math
do the
is
math.
hard.
To someone else, but yeah, somewhere around there. So right now we are actually part of Scholastic, the biggest children's book publisher in the world. Which is really great because that means that we get to be a little toy company inside of a larger publishing company and have that extra, so whenever they're selling books or doing a big fair or have their salespeople, we get the Klutz stuff in there too. So that's really helpful and great. And we have a lot of resources that a small toy company wouldn't normally have. So it really lets us play a lot, which is nice, and take a lot of chances. And so right now, we do a mix of different things. We do some really original new things, like this is Shake Shop, so we always have a book. That's really important to us. We always include a book with full color instructions, step-by-step instructions in every kit. We're not going to ever have like a black and white 1-page pamphlet and like a bunch of stuff in a box and say, figure it out, or like go online and go to the instructions. We always have a beautiful book with written instructions and illustrated instructions step by step that have been safety tested, that have been kid tested multiple times throughout the process. So like we get this stuff in front of kids. Do you think this is cool? Do you think it's funny to have like, a bear ice cream, and is boba tea still cool? And do you want to make a wacky milkshake? And, what is in here that you do want or you don't want? Stuff like that. And so we ask kids right away from the beginning. And then once we start playing with everything, and we're all big kids, in the development team. So we've got editors who are writers, project managers, we have designers. My cat is driving me crazy. Hold on. Right. Go outside. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Deal with my cats, So then we have the team create stuff. And then once it's sort of like ready for the next step, we give it to the kids again, a whole nother group of kids. And we say, hey, now what do you think? Can you understand how to do it? What do you think about these instructions? And are there anything missing? Are there colors? Do you like these colors? Do you like this? Is it too hard? Is it too easy? What did you like? What didn't you like, etc.? And then they get back to us and we take everything they say really seriously. And then we make changes, and this keeps happening multiple times through the process. We then get everything safety tested up to super high standards, and then we create these beautiful packages, really great instructions, super high quality materials, and some of them are in boxes like this. We'll also have stuff that are more like Wiro, sort of like book form like this. This is kind of Jumpsies. This is kind of like our Cat's Cradle book. It's like a new one that we're doing called Jumpsies, where you actually jump and move. We also have a line called Klutz Press, which is more of like a book form. So this is a new one coming out where you have a bunch of real photos of, this is actually all crowdsourced from people's actual dogs that work at Scholastic and beyond.
That's fantastic.
Hundreds of thousands, like thousands and thousands of photos of real dogs. And when you put them together, this mystery, look at all the stickers. This mystery, amazing, cute photo appears of this poster of this dog. And then we have a lot of like art books. So we'll have teaching kids the fundamentals of art. And again, it's always sort of something new and different. So, this one kind of almost feels like you're using like makeup, and it has a blending brush, and, we'll try to make sure that it appeals to boys and girls. So there'll be always really great instructions, really high quality paper, but then like lots of projects that'll appeal to all different kinds of kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so then I gotta ask, how do you guys come up with, especially since you're, the head, how do you guys come up with what you're gonna do next? Like what books you're gonna make? What sort of creative activities you're gonna tackle? Because I mean, something like the photomosaic one, I would have never been like, we should figure out how to make a photomosaic sticker book for kids. Where does that all come from?
We have a super creative team, and it really, a lot of these ideas are from our in-house team. We don't really, take submissions so much. I mean, we just don't really have the money to give people royalties. It's really hard to make money making toys and books.
Yeah.
And so like, even though I would love to say like, I'd love to work with other people, I really would. It's just really hard to like pay them what they're worth. And so we really do come up with lots of ideas and we try them out. We play with all day. Like it's a pretty fun job. I'm not going to lie. I mean, our office has paint everywhere and has like half done craft projects everywhere. And we have lots of like mood boards and things like that we look at. And Klutz has been around for 45 years. So we get to mine our archives of all the old Klutz stuff that either worked or didn't and kind of see like, well, they did try to do this like body crayon book back in 1983. It never really did well. But what if we make it sparkly and instead of body crayons, they're face crayons and we kind of like flip things around and you know what I mean? So that kind of gets our brains going. And they kind of organically. So
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. So do you guys do any sort of you just mentioned that it's mostly all in-house. Do you guys do like any licensed things as well?
we do. We do. In fact, we have a huge license with Lego. So we do a
Yep.
bunch of Lego. In fact, like this is top secret, but I'm going to flash it in front of you. We're coming
Ooh.
out soon with a new Lego product.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. It's going to be amazing. Our Lego stuff does incredibly well. We also are soon going to be releasing this Harry Potter clay charms book,
Oh
which
wow.
it's super cool. It's got like a gold bracelet, gold clay. It has like all the characters. It's just super, super cool. It has paper craft so that like you can dry your little figurines on the Hogwarts Express while they're drying. Like it's just super cute and thoughtful. And then of course the book has lots of like info from all about Harry Potter characters. So it's just chock full of fun. And then we have some great stuff with Pokemon. We have Pokemon stained glass art.
Oh
We're
wow.
working on some new stuff with Pokemon right now. So kind of like the really like classic stuff. We don't branch out to like too much licensing, but
Sure,
really like,
sure.
the big ones. Yeah.
The big ones you want to make sure that you're covered. You
Yeah.
got Lego, you got Harry Potter and Pokemon. Like those are some pretty big gets. So I
Solid.
think
Yeah.
that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
So
But we're all ears. If you guys want something from Klutz, we're all ears. Let me know.
there we go. How did you get into all of this then?
Oh
I can
my
tell by
goodness.
your age you weren't there from the beginning. At least I don't think so.
You're too
You may
kind.
just look really good for, 70. But
I have been cryogenically frozen for the past. Yeah, so I started as a graphic designer. I was at a bunch of like small graphic design studios. I was at Reader's Digest, and then I got to Penguin Random House. It was just Penguin back then, working in children's books, and worked my way up from there. But I always kind of pitched ideas along with just doing design. I like couldn't just sit and do my design work with my headphones on, although I loved that too. I kind of always had to like say, hey, what if we did this? What if we did that? And then when no one listened to me, I would just sort of like make it and make a little mock-up dummy and like put it in front of people. And then I got hired by Workman Publishing, and I worked with Raquel Jaramillo, who's actually RJ Palacio, who wrote Wonder. And she was hugely influential and very encouraging and really let me spread my creative wings and encouraged me to just pitch a lot of my ideas and let me play around a lot. And that's when I started really getting to like create not just books, but books with stuff. So
Yeah.
like, a robot kit that came with a bunch of stuff where you get to make like trash robots and things like that, or, working with really cool artists and illustrators and making things. So I got to do a lot of stuff like that. And then when this job came up at Klutz, I was just like, that is my dream job. I was obsessed with Klutz as a kid. I was like that kid that like, had every like Klutz journal and was like too scared to even write in it because it was so precious to me and I just loved it so much. And like I learned how to do friendship bracelets from Klutz books. I learned how to do, like how to do face painting from Klutz books. I as soon as the job came up, I was just like, hi, like,
Yes, please.
I need to have this job, And I think I showed them all my wares, and I told them that I'd been making and selling stuff since I was a little kid, and they were just like, okay.
We get it. We get it. You got the job. All right.
Yeah, you have a lot of energy. We'll take it.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that. Okay, so how long have you been with the company then? When was that?
Yeah, 10 years now.
10 years.
Longest I've been anywhere.
Okay, so you're going on 10 years. What would you say is your proudest achievement at Klutz?
Oh my gosh. I think for sure just the team that we've created. Yeah, the people. We have such a tight team. Everyone is so creative. Everyone gives their all, like they all have their own voice. I really feel like we support each other. We lift each other up. We really like are invested in each other's ideas. And that to me is just an incredible thing.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, I don't want to take too much of your time on your meetingless Friday. So what do you see as the future with Klutz? Like you've shown me like a little bit of the immediate future, gave me some sneak peeks, but what do you guys see for the big picture future with Klutz?
Wow. Oh my gosh. Listen, I mean, I would love for Klutz to grow to be as huge as it should be. I think that when people come to Astra and come to Toy Fair and they see our booth and they see our stuff, they're like completely blown away. And they all are just like, wow, we need to have this in our store. And, and I think that sometimes it's hard to get it into everyone's stores or into everyone's hands or to really get the value across or like this conversation, me just explaining to you like why Klutz is so awesome, like how it started and like the fact that kids really like help create our products and like that there's these incredible books and that they're made by humans and how much care and dedication goes into them. Like I feel like we don't get to like shout that from the rooftops enough. And there's a lot of noise, like there's Amazon and there's, it's very hard and you get very lost, and I wish that I could just scream it from the rooftops and be huge in specialty stores and, that everyone would just have this beautiful, huge Klutz display and that kids could find and like that little kid, that little Netta, who's walking along who maybe isn't the best at sports or isn't the best at this or that, but then could pick up a Klutz book and just like be amazing at painting something or carving something or creating something and just realize that like they have this talent or that they can learn something new and feel really proud and successful and get that confidence. Like that's what I want.
I love that. That's fantastic. That's a wonderful, wonderful dream and aspiration to strive to. As someone who, although it may not look like it, I wasn't big into sports or anything either. I'm built like a linebacker, but I always preferred to just sit at home and watch The Simpsons or something like that instead. So I get that. I was always a very creative kid, and my mind was always racing and trying to find the next cool thing to do. In fact, as I was going through all of our Klutz products, and I saw the cat's cradle, and I was like, I think this is how I learned to play. And I still know, like, the Eiffel Tower, the teacup, and little things that anytime I get a piece of string, I just kind of like start to, do what I learned from a Klutz book when I was in third grade.
I love
But so okay, then I'm gonna close this out with a fun one. You guys have, like I kind of mentioned earlier, a ton of different products that span a ton of different categories. What is your favorite?
Oh my goodness.
If you want, I can give you a top 3, but I want to know what you really are into.
I have to say I love our clay books. I love our air dry clay books. I'm a sucker for them. We have one called Mini Sushi Bar. It's so cute because it like you could create. I mean, I love sushi. Um, my kids love sushi. We all love sushi, and it comes with like mini chopsticks, and like it comes with everything you need, and to make an entire like meal. It has a bento box. It has like everything, and it has like the bubbly kind of clay that so it looks like rice. And you make these adorable little like nori and sushi, and it's just like so cute. And every kid who has touched it or made it, and every adult, is so proud of what they make and obsessed with it. And the instructions were written alongside with a Japanese author who wrote a bunch of like really cool things about like Japanese food and how sushi was created, so we always like to like include these things in our books, and I feel very proud of that. And I just really think the book is so cute and awesome. And I could like make sushi a million times over. Not real sushi because that's too hard, but clay sushi.
But clay sushi. Yeah. And then afterward you go get sushi. It
lasts longer and then eat real sushi. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Netta, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. It's been a pleasure. You've got a wonderful energy about you that just, I feel like, represents the brand very well, because when I see those books, they all have a great energy about them. And yeah, again, thank you so much. And yeah.
Thank you so much. I love your store and I love your energy too. And I hope to visit.
Yeah, come on out.
Shows. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for sitting down. Have a great Friday.
Sure.
Did you like that video? Why don't you give it a like? Maybe head on down to the comments and tell us what you liked about it. Ooh, better yet, you can click this button right here to subscribe. Or maybe you want to check out some more of our videos with this button. And if those buttons have been disabled in the future and I'm just kind of doing this randomly, just use your imagination. Okay, bye, love you.